Hello and greetings, everyone. Now, over the past few months, I've been feeling more about trying to have a homeland, have somewhere I can call home. I do live in a council house, but they can throw you out at any time. I was thinking more of some land that the clan would own. The clan would own as a group, and we could, do what we wished on that land. Now, I know we'll get interference of governments and stuff like that, saying you can't do this, can't do that. They like to control you. They like to do everything about you. Today I was at the doctor's and it was stand here, stand there, come up to the desk, put this mask on, otherwise we can't see to you. Um, so much, ordering about. It's the same as when you try and do anything. There's that much red tape. I mean, years ago, I had a car, and sorry about that, you know what the cat's like. Years ago, I had a car, and the police stopped us and told us I didn't have a license. I showed them my license. Still took the car off us, said it wasn't good enough that I had a up-to-date license because the computer had said I didn't have a license. So the policeman believed the computer over his own eyes. What he could see. He could see I had a license. He could see it was my phone on my license. And yet he believed the computer over his own eyes. That car was taken off us. They charged me towing fee, and by the time I had things sorted out, which meant sending off to the DVLA to, get a new license sent out, then the fee was over £400, and the car wasn't worth it. Now, I went to a solicitor to see about getting my car back, because, I'd done nothing wrong. And what he says to me is, who you gonna sue? I went, well, the police. And he says, well, the police didn't say you didn't have a licence. I says, well, the DVLA. And he says, DVLA didn't take your car off you, the police did. I says, well, okay, then the police. He went, well, they're just going by what the DVLA had told them. So when it come down to it, a hiccup with DVLA had my car taken off us. Again, to believe the computer over his own eyes. I'd have my licence for many, many years, perfectly clean licence, no points. When we try and get our own land, what we've got to remember is the government can take it off. So what do? Do we jump through all the red tape to make sure the government's happy with what we do with our land, if we get our land? Do we be deceptive and hide what we're doing on the land? Or do we just get some land off grid and live as we wish, live by our own morals? Because when, shit hits the fan, towns and cities won't be worth living in because the junkies and the alcoholics will be running wild, thieving, causing riots. Look what happens in London when you don't get their own way. Look what's happening on the M6 where people are blocking it off because they don't get their own way. So they disrupt everyone's life. When things get worse, it's not safe to be around towns and cities. We need our own little land to all of our clan to draw back to live off, to do things how we want. So, we're not being forced to eat halal meat. You might agree, you might disagree with halal. It's not the point. In our schools, our children are forced to eat halal meat. When we have a glass of water, we're drinking chemicals, fluoride, other chemicals, all put in our water to make the water safe to drink. And yet if we go off the grid and drill a well, you will get water purer than what come out that well. Why are they throwing all the chemicals into the water? It's all about control. Getting off the grid's a dream come true for me. Don't know how practical it is, but we all need to have somewhere where we can settle down. We can live our lives how we want to be, how the gods want it to be. I mean, the governments and the people with money have turned us completely into sheep. It's people like us that stick to the rules. Rich people bend the rules, twist the rules, buy the rules. Do we have to start doing that to fit in? Is it right that that happens? My dream is to have our own land, our clan to have its own land, different clans to have their own land, different groups, and be in control of your own life. Don't let some government agency dictate rules to you that them don't even stick to. Look how many of these MPs that put the rules up over COVID broke the rules. The rules seem to be for us and not for them. You know why? They've got the money. They've got the power. They've got the law behind them. But what about common law? Common law overrides government law. You've got to remember the governments only govern us by consent of the people. And yet, they've turned the people into sheep. So whatever the government say, the sheep go bah and do. Our ancestors weren't sheep. Our ancestors were wolves. We travelled the seas. We done what we wanted for our own families. Survival is strength. Survival is the strongest. But we're sheep. So maybe we have to be as the werewolves are. Meek-mannered sheep on the outside, but the wolves on the inside. Anyway, we'd love to get our own land. We'd love to build our own temple. We'd love to train the way we train. We need to keep our faith alive. Do it the best way we can. Stick to what values we hold, not what other people tell us we should hold. Okay, everyone. Hail the gods. Hail to you. Hail air. Hail the All Father. Freedom! Remember that film, Braveheart? You can take away our land. Sorry, I won't do a Scotch accent. You can take away our land, but you can't take away our freedom. Too late. Our freedom is already gone.